Today is a very special episode. It is episode 250. It seems like a blink of an eye, and 250 episodes have gone by of the Good Enough Mompreneur Podcast. And when I recorded my first episode, I had no idea what journey that first podcast episode would take me on. Over the past 249 episodes, I've had the privilege of talking with incredible coaches, authors, CEOs, creatives, healers, service providers, product-based business owners, and moms building businesses in the middle of real life. And while every story has been unique, I've noticed some powerful themes emerge again and again. And today I wanted to share the 5 biggest lessons I've learned in the last 249 episodes of the Good Enough Mompreneur Podcast. So lesson number 1 is that confidence doesn't come first. One of the biggest myths women believe is, I'll do it when I feel confident. But after 249 conversations and episodes, I've learned that the opposite is true. And that's certainly the situation that I found myself in when I started this podcast. I had no idea who would listen. I had no idea who would want to be a guest. And I hadn't found my voice. I wasn't confident that this was going to be a successful podcast, but I kept taking action. And that's where confidence comes from. It comes from taking action. The women I've interviewed weren't fearless. They were willing. They were consistent. And they took the next step before they felt ready. So let me ask you, what are you waiting to feel confident enough to do? Lesson 2 is success looks different for everyone. One woman defines success as a 7-figure business. Another defines it as being home for school pickup. And for me, that was absolutely my case. Another defines it as flexibility or freedom. Another defines it as impact. The happiest entrepreneurs I've spoken with aren't chasing someone else's definition of success. They're building businesses around their values and what works for their life. Lesson number 3 is that boundaries create freedom. This lesson really surprised me because I think as women and moms, we learn how to try and take care of everyone all the time and be the most pleasing to everyone all the time, just so everybody's happy and everything works out. But many women start a business seeking freedom, but the women who actually experience freedom are the ones who learn boundaries. And I've had some boundary experts on the podcast. I will link those in the show notes. But who should you be creating boundaries with? Your clients, your schedules, your social media, family expectations, and yourself. Freedom isn't the absence of boundaries. It's often the result of them. So let me ask you, where could a boundary create more freedom in your life? Is it less time checking your DMs? Is it less time with clients, creating shorter client times? Is it not taking those last minute appointments that is an emergency for your client, but is really interrupting your life? I know a lot of the women I speak to find that as an issue. Lesson number 4, you were never meant to do this alone. So one thing I've heard over and over again is community changes everything. Finding your people changes everything. Mentors, friends, masterminds, supportive spouses, business besties. The strongest women I know aren't doing everything alone. They're allowing themselves to be supported. So hopefully you're finding yourself right now asking yourself, where do you need more support in your business? And lesson number 5, alignment matters more than hustle. This may be the biggest lesson of all. The women who sustain success over time aren't necessarily working harder. They're working more intentionally. They're willing to pivot. They're willing to evolve. They're willing to build businesses that fit their lives, not the other way around. So, what would more alignment look like in this season of your life? And before I close, I just want to say thank you. Thank you to my listeners. Thank you to the amazing guests. You're part of the Good Enough Mompreneur family. And thank you for sharing episodes. Thank you for your email messages and questions. Thank you for trusting me to be part of your walks, your car rides, workouts, school pickup lines, and quiet moments. This podcast has become so much more than I ever imagined. And while this is episode 250, I truly believe we're just getting started. If you could take just one lesson from this episode into the next chapter of your business and life, which one would it be? So, in closing, I just want you to remember you don't have to do everything. You don't have to do it perfectly. You don't have to do it alone. You're allowed to build a business that supports your life, and you're more than good enough. Thank you for being here for 250 episodes. I'm cheering you on always. And I'll see you in episode 251 and beyond. Thanks so much for joining me.